This is a video of me building a couple lights for my shop. I pulled these pieces of aluminum out of the scrap bin at a recycling center for high-tech equipment. My intentions all along were to make some lights for my shop. I've had them for about 4 years, and I finally got the inspiration for how to use them. We use this center point to find the middle of this piece of aluminum. You can see this piece of aluminum has a bunch of concentric holes drilled in it, and there was one right in the middle here, and I've got the mill lined up to that center point, at least close enough for a shop light. First I'm going to use a large drill bit, at least big for what I have, to drill the center, and then I'll move on to a boring head. I wish I could move on to a bigger drill bit because this needs to be like 1.65 inches. So I wish I had something like 1.25 inches, but I just don't. So we'll go with what we got and switch over to the boring head. Right now, dimensions don't really matter, so I'm just trying to make it where I get a little bit of a small cut, and then we'll move it out 40 thousandths of an inch until we get to about 1.65. I think I'll have to remeasure to see exactly what it is, but. Always heard WD-40 is what you should use for aluminum. I don't have any. Maybe this is close, maybe this isn't, but it's what I got. It's like 0.985. Trying to get to 1.625, so got a ways to go. So I figured out with both the X and the Y axes locked, I can take a 40 thou radius cut with per pass. All right, good to go. So now that I got the center hole bored out for the light socket, I'm going to mount the aluminum back up in the mill, and I'm going to drill the holes in the light socket so the light socket can screw down. Start out by using a transfer punch. Easily transfer the location of the mounting hole from the light socket onto the piece of aluminum. All right, now I got one side drilled out. I put the socket in the center hole, drilled a screw through the socket into the hole I already drilled to line it up, and then I used a transfer punch to mark the other side. So now I'm going to drill the other side where the light socket goes. All right, so besides the screws being a little bit long, maybe I'll get the right ones, maybe I'll cut these off, but I've got this part of the lamp done. Now I've just got to make something that comes off and then goes to the wall about 3 feet. I'm going to use this pipe flange to connect the light fixture to the wall. I'm going to run a pipe up and then over to the wall. But my light bulb socket doesn't fit in the hole, so I'm going to cut a spacer to go between this piece and this, so it'll mount like that. Here I'm using the center finder attachment on my combination square to find the center of this sort of circle. Alright, so now that I've got this 1.5-inch hole bored into this sort of circle, so I've got, it's kind of funny, I've got very inaccurate circle with a very accurate circle. I think it's kind of interesting, but I'm just getting practice using the mill. I'm going to align it by eye in the middle, because I don't have any better way to do it right now. And using a transfer punch, I'm going to punch where these holes need to go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill one of the holes, and then I'll screw it down and get it locked in place, and then I'll mark up the other 3. I'm drilling the holes in the spacer at 5/16. This is a 1/4-inch bolt, so there's plenty of room for some adjustment later. I'm using a center punch again to transfer the holes from the spacer through the block of aluminum. So before I assemble everything, I'm going to bolt these together, and I'm going to use a belt sander to sand this down to an actual circle. And then we'll be almost ready for assembly. Alright, so let's put this thing together. I'm slowly using up all my random 1/4-20 bolts. I'm going to wire up the light. This is 12 gauge wire that I have left over for some conduit work. Made these 2 brackets off camera. I made them on the drill press. Didn't think I need to show you all more drilling. Plan is for this flange to bolt up to here. The light to go into the flange. So this will go up against the electric box, and then this will screw into the plywood wall in these 4 spots. So the wall mount is assembled. I got this flange bolted on this bracket, and then I've got this grind wire attached to it. The way this is going to work is this flange bracket will thread on the end of the will thread onto the end of the light. Like that. So I've tied the light to the roof with this rope. I'm going to wire it up, screw it into the wall. If you're interested, click on the link of me installing this sheathing in this barndominium a couple years ago. I'm using a multimeter to confirm that the electric circuit is actually off. right, now I'll check to see if it's level in this direction.